and aggressive and basically not very nice. So I was quite distressed for her. So I decided I was going to convert her to Christianity. And after a few months, she got fed up with me. So she said one day, right, I give you a challenge. If you can find any fault, any mistake, any one thing that's not correct with Islam, not with the people, with Islam, with the Quran, the Hadith or the Sharia law, I'll come to Christianity. So I said, oh, that's great, that's going to be easy, I'll do that. So I took the challenge and I bought some books and I read and I read and I read some more and I couldn't find anything wrong. And I tried everything. I had quite a bookshelf before I actually decided there wasn't anything wrong. And it was perfect. And all the answers were there, the answers you couldn't find in Christianity. In the Bible, I found so many flaws and downright mistakes in places. And when you ask a minister, what about this? It says in Corinthians this, and then it says in Ephesians this, which is true? It's always a matter of faith. If it's a book of God, there's no faith, there's fact. And I found in Islam the facts were there. Everything was black and white. There was an answer. There wasn't anything where anyone went, well, make your mind up. Because we're human, we shouldn't have to make our mind up. So I found Islam was perfect. And it had all the answers. So I decided after about 6 months of reading, I should become a Muslim. Which Hamida thought was fantastic. Quite funny. She laughed for a very long time. And then her uncle, who was an imam from Leicester, came down and did the Shahada for me. And I became a Muslim, an undercover Muslim, didn't tell anybody. I didn't want anybody to know because I still remembered what my image of Islam was, my preconceived, media-induced image, which was very negative. And I knew I was going to get so much trouble. I knew my family would, my mum and dad hated me being a Christian. What would they do when I was a Muslim? This would be a shootable offence, I'm sure. So I just didn't tell anyone. My children knew. The people in the church, I was having a few issues with them anyway, so I just stopped going. And when anybody asked, why don't you go? Oh, well, I'm busy, got something else to do. And I just fobbed them off every time. I didn't give them a definitive answer. So they assumed it was from the other problems that were going on. One of my kids carried on going to the church for quite a few years afterwards. And I had my own business and I was working predominantly with older English ladies, a lot from the church. And they would ask me, why don't you go? Oh, just I'm busy. And I thought if they knew I was Muslim, my business would be finished. Nobody would want to talk to me. They'd probably send me off to one of these brainwashing camps like the Jehovah's Witnesses have or something, because it still felt like it was something wrong because the media have got such a bad image. And I thought, how do I convince everybody? It took me 6 months of reading incessantly to find the truth. How am I going to convince everybody? Especially my mum and dad, who were very racist, very anti-religion. They were atheist. So fast forward 3 years of being a Muslim, and I decided I wanted to get married again. And I met a guy who was originally from Zanzibar. And we got married. I knew him for a couple of years and then we got married. And my family were very upset. My father was quite racist, so he was upset that I was marrying a black guy. And then when he found out he was Muslim, he was like, oh my God, now he's going to force you to be Muslim. And it was quite a heated conversation because he was saying, oh, I'm going to cut you out of the will and all this stupid talk. And I said, I don't care, cut me out, I don't care. And I said, and as for becoming Muslim, I've been Muslim for like years, just never told you. And they were really upset. But they sort of ignored it because I suppose they thought, well, she'd been Muslim for years and we didn't know. So it doesn't mean anything. And they kept saying I was stupid, but it's no worse than going to the church. They just thought God was a silly idea. Yeah, after a few years, my dad unfortunately got Alzheimer's, which was in a way fortunate for me because he forgot about racism. He forgot why he didn't like my husband, and he forgot why he didn't get on with me, and we became friends again. My husband never went in the house again because we were worried that if he saw him, he would remember why he didn't like him. So he would always say, oh, why didn't Max come in? I'd say, oh, he's busy, he's at work, something. Oh, he's so good. The kids keep saying, well, he's done this and he's done that. And all of a sudden, Max was a nice guy. And we didn't want to risk it, but yeah, it was quite good. He completely forgot about racism, and he forgot that Islam was a bad idea, and he seemed more accepting of who I was and how I was, rather than the image of Islam, because he saw that I was a better person. And he was quite good with me. And after he died, my mother lived for another, I think, 7 or 8 years.